It's a rematch and a real grudge match. Finally, on May the 5th, we go again. Repeat or revenge? Tony Bellew, David Haye, welcome to The Gloves Are Off.
He's been in the ring with me and he was shocked, pleasantly surprised. It was hilarious. I know more about David than his own coach does. He will revert to type. That is a fact. He will revert to type on May the 5th.
Looking back on the fight, my mindset going into the ring, it was all off, and I paid the price. I just went out there and swang like a 15-year-old amateur. I definitely feel you'll see a lot better version of me May 5th.
Guys, we're here again, but this time it's Bellew versus Haye. How's that feel?
It's not according to him. It's still Haye v Bellew, so I don't know. Does it matter?
He says you're still calling it Haye Bellew.
Yeah.
Is that you're looking at nothing's changed?
The first fight was Haye Bellew. You can't have a second fight with a different name. It's either Bellew. It's Bellew Haye 1.
It's a rematch, so it's obviously Bellew Haye 2. It doesn't make difference whose name is first.
Bellew Haye 2 then.
It's a rematch. Of course, it's not Bellew Haye 1, is it? It's Bellew Haye 2. It doesn't matter whose name is first, whatever. I couldn't care less. It's a rematch. It is what it is.
Is it a big deal to you, David?
No.
You know, this has been billed as Bellew Haye.
Not in my gym, it isn't. In my gym, it's Haye Bellew.
So saying that, who's the A side of this?
He's the A side.
I'm not the A side.
He's the A side. He walked to the ring second.
Mate, is that really the A side?
Yes, the A side. Of course it is.
Matter.
He walks to the ring second. He has his name first. He won the first fight. He was the B side for the first fight, and he's the A side for the second fight.
It makes no odds. No one cares.
It is what it is, though. No, you disagree that you're the A side for this fight?
No, I don't disagree with what I say.
Okay, there you go then.
It doesn't matter.
But he's asked the question.
I'm just saying it doesn't matter.
I know it doesn't matter, but he's asked the question.
Does it make you hungrier thinking, put him in your head?
It makes no difference with, in terms of hunger. A fight's a fight. I lost the first fight. I have to win the second fight. So I'm hungry.
Let's talk the first fight. I don't want the PC answer.
PC is in?
Politically correct answer. I want you to just drop it on me straight. Tell me, would it have been a different result if it wasn't for the injury? Address the injury, because you never really addressed it. You just said he won fair and square.
I don't know.
But up to the injury, would you say you were ahead at that point? Were things going to plan?
Officially on the scorecards, I was. I won the first round and all the scorecards. I won second, third, fourth, and fifth. And from that point on, he won everything until the towel was thrown in. That's on the official scorecards.
So on the official, I didn't ever look at the official cards.
I'll email you the official scorecards.
Okay, but I didn't know. I haven't looked at the official cards, but from what I made out and what I was watching, and I'm pretty sure I know boxing, I had him 3-2 ahead at the end of the fifth. And we obviously know what happened in the sixth happened, but I stood in the middle of that ring at the end of the fifth round and I said a few words to David. I'm not sure if he remembers them or whatever, but it's quite clear on camera. I stop in the middle of the ring, bell goes, and I told him, your time's done now. Now it's my time of the fight.
Did you hear that?
I didn't hear it, but if he did say it, he was bang on. He was right. You were right.
It's perfectly there to see. Just look back at the tape. And very unfortunately, what happened in the sixth.
Now, before the fight was announced, you were like Nostradamus. You said David Haye's body will not hold up, it will break down. Do you think it'll hold up this time?
Because boxing isn't a sport, Johnny, you can just take 2-year breaks from. He knows that and I know that. No one in the world can do it. It's just not, it's not possible.
But you called how the fight turned out before anybody could even see that.
That's because I know the length I was going to have to push him to get that out of him, and I understand that if I can get him past 5-6 rounds and then I can start pushing the pace and start forcing headers from, something's going to give. I hear what people say, oh, the injury and this, but David was still very dangerous. I fought a man who was trying to take me head off with every single punch, and a man whose glove I tried to touch in one of the rounds and he still tried to take me head off. So make no mistake, I was fighting a very, very dangerous man, and I'm going to be fighting the same dangerous man on May the 5th. I understand exactly what's in front of me. It was David who didn't the first time. Like I said, he was the guy who came out and said, I'm facing the worst world champion ever.
David, is the pressure on David?
Pressure on what?
Is your career on the line?
Yeah, of course. every fight I have, your career's on the line.
Sorry to this, Dave. Do you mean your career's on the line as in physically or literally your career's on the line?
Both, yeah.
I don't.
Sure.
I disagree. I mean, I think this is the
That's how
first
I feel.
genuine time.
You asked me the question.
I know,
though,
but
so.
I'm just saying. My point is, this is the first time in your whole career, your career is actually on the line with a fight. Not even injury saves you this time. Nothing saves you. This is it. I remember the last time we was here, and your exact words to me was, "Enjoy your 15 minutes." But I suppose you've got selective memory and you forget saying that now as well. Yeah. But they were the words you said to me.
Okay.
It's amazing how the coin's flipped, because now you're in that position.
David, I see Tony's trying to press every single button.
I'm not. I'm just telling him what he said.
Are you struggling? Because this is very different from the first time you guys sat down.
I know that I could snap back, I can argue, and
there's no need to snap. I'm just telling you facts. What you said, David, I didn't say them. You said them. I'm not. I'm
this
just
is
saying.
what I'm talking about.
I'm not. I'm just saying what he said. What, Johnny, am I saying?
But what I need to do and
say.
what I will do is just let him talk.
If you look back to the first fight, what did I say that wasn't true? What did I say that he didn't already say? I'm just repeating what he said.
But the one thing you keep saying is the mask will drop eventually.
Because he knows
he
wants to bite. It's killing him. You know and I know. It vexes him. It infuriates him. I know it doesn't. You know. But listen, it doesn't matter if you think that this mask that you're putting on is going to affect me. I don't care. In honesty, it doesn't bother me. Do you know why? Because what will be on May the 5th. So you're the one who got angry. You're the one who made all the threats. I mean, you sit there shaking, nodding your head all you want, but it's a fact, David. You said the things. You're the guy who opened your mouth and said them all. I don't understand how the complete well, I do understand how the complete U-turn has come around. Basically, what his guys have done is they've stuck a muzzle on a wounded animal. And don't get me wrong, a wounded animal is a very dangerous thing, as I'm sure David's going to try and show me on the 5th of May.
David, are you a wounded animal or are you humbled?
Oh, stop it. Just stop it. Humble. He's about as humble as Madonna.
Let him answer it. Let him answer
it. He knows it and I know it. OK. You're humble, David.
So go and say what was the question?
A wounded animal or humbled?
It depends how you define humbled. You know, do I respect him more as a boxer now after sharing a ring with him? Yes. Am I going to say the same things I said prior to the first fight? No. So if you don't want me to be humble, assume I'm not humble. If that makes you feel better, I'm not humble then.
It doesn't matter. I don't believe for 1 minute, I mean, you rate me or whatever. I know you don't. I know deep down you don't, 100%. You're meeting someone who wants it more than you. Someone who'll do whatever it takes. I don't care whether your Achilles just fell off. I don't care whether your arm falls off. I don't care whether my leg falls off. I want it more than you. I have to get it. It's a game to you. It's not to me.
Tony, I sense you are wound up, surprisingly. So is that because of the enforced break?
What makes you
because
think
of the
I'm wound
injuries?
Up? Oh, no, listen, for 100%, he's affected my career. He's took a year out of my life.
Does that bother you?
It's not nice, Johnny. Someone takes a year out of your life. Would you like it?
How would you rate your last performance?
I think, technically, for the first 5 rounds, defensively, very astute, very clever, smart. You know, making a miss by the wide marks I made a miss by was just, it wasn't hard, it was easy because, like I said, I've studied him his whole career. I've been a fan from afar. You know, I know more about David than his own coach does.
This guy seems to know every single thing about you from day one.
It's just because I was a
to
fan.
this point now.
It's quite flattering, to be honest, so that's about it.
He's a brilliant fighter. Why wouldn't I admire a brilliant fighter?
The point is, if someone's been watching you from day dot, that means he's probably been preparing for you, as Tony says, for quite a long time. For longer than he was ever on your radar. Does that make him a more dangerous opponent than anybody you've been in the ring with?
Obviously made him dangerous when I fought him first time round, for sure. Had I done my homework? Not really. Did I think I needed to? Not really. Should I have? Looking back, maybe.
Looking back at that David Haye, that box then, what would you be telling him when he came back to the corner? What advice would you give that guy fighting then?
What are you doing? What are you doing? What was that?
Did your corner man not say that?
Said something pretty similar, yeah.
But you prepared so well in camp. I mean, things looked absolutely fantastic in Miami. So for the life of me, It amazes me to think what makes you get in the ring and be so off.
Take the credit. You did. You made me box how I boxed. You
I'm
was the
never
other
after
guy.
credit, David.
Oh, you're getting it. I'm heaping it. There you go. Have some of that credit. You did it. You did it.
Take it back. I'll give you it on May the 5th.
I was in good shape. I trained super hard, and I was bettered on the night.
What's happened to the one-liners? You know, I can remember a line you dropped out. You said I could turn up drunk and beat this guy, something like that.
No, that was against me. He said
Was that against you?
He said I could go out every single night
Where's-
and party and still knock you out. They were the words he said.
Where is that talk now?
That's in the past. That's in the past. That's by them fights. That was after the last fight when it didn't go as anticipated, not even remotely. Maybe something's off. Maybe you need to reevaluate a lot of the stuff that you're saying, doing, how you're living, where you're going.
You said you'd live great, so just to tip him on that.
I lived great in terms of the training, the sacrifice. There's lots of things, but there are other things.
It's just purely a mental thing then it was for me, the first fight.
It wasn't partly mental, partly spiritual, partly...
Spiritual?
Yeah, spiritual. I don't think I had the right... I had the wrong energy, I had a dark energy, you know, and I definitely feel that Tony Bellew has a very slick skill of getting into someone's head and forcing them to...
Have you met your match?
Pardon?
Have you met your match?
Maybe I have. I did in the last match, I lost.
I mean, in regards to getting under people's skin, because...
I've done it, I've got in people's heads before. I don't think I could do that to him. I thought maybe I could last time. It backfired. It was complete. He was the puppet master last time, and he controlled my mind.
I never controlled it.
I'm telling you, you did.
I
know how it felt.
What's changed, David?
Now I'm aware of it now. I wasn't aware of the game that was being played. I thought I was in control of it, but clearly I wasn't. Looking back on the fight, looking back on how my mindset going into the ring, it was all off. It was all skewed. I've never gone into the ring with that same mindset for a reason, because it's the wrong one to have if you're a slick athlete looking to put on a boxing display.
He wanted to absolutely tear me head off when he got in the ring for the first fight. I understood that. He was actually still even trying to intimidate me when he got in the ring. And I actually laughed at him, and for a second he broke concentration in the ring and he laughed back, and then he turned away and he started the growling again and the grimacing. It ain't real. It's just a fight.
Boys, you didn't get to the point of being able to ask for a handshake last time. Are we going to get one?
This is he's reeling me in. He's got me. He got me. He nearly got me. He nearly got me.
I'm just saying.
He nearly got me. I was crawling.
How can you improve?
How can
you improve from the last time?
There's a million different ways. It's every single aspect of my game in terms of timing, rhythm, a million different things I can do to improve, because I didn't really do any of them last time. I just went out there and swang like a 15-year-old amateur.
Is that down to just you?
Is what?
Was that the way you performed?
I was the one throwing the punches, yeah. No, I can't blame anyone else for punching like that.
I'm
not blaming my coach or anyone like that. I'm the one who threw the punches, and that's it.
How do you deal with the best version of David Haye turning up May the 5th? How do you deal with that?
Brain.
Do you beat him?
Box, of course.
But you said...
I take fights that I can't win. I know fights I can win. I'm very open. I'm unlike David. I'm very open and honest. David is a fantasist. I'm a realist. Listen, he's a better fighter than me. He'll go down in history as a better fighter than me. Doesn't mean he can beat me. I've beaten better fighters than me. I've beaten guys quicker than me. I've beaten guys stronger than me. I've beaten guys bigger than me. Why do I do it? Because you go in the ring with a certain game plan or a set of tactics and you make them work for you. The best man doesn't always win the fight.
You don't watch him on tape?
No.
Why not?
Do you watch any of your opponents on tape?
No.
He does.
Why?
He does.
I don't. My coach does. My coach studies my opponent and we work out there. What I've found in the past, when I watch my opponents, I expect them to do a certain thing against a certain guy, but unless they're fighting me, then...
So obviously you're fighting a man that's fought you before, that didn't know he could beat you before. Now he knows he can beat you, and you've still not watched that fight.
I've watched the fight, yeah, I have watched the fight, but I'm not going to study that to work on a game plan to beat Tony, because I know whatever that was, he'll be way above that. So I don't want to watch that and think, OK, he moves his hand when I jab to beat. He's not going to do stuff like that now.
When you looked at you, you know you can improve on that, or you think you can improve on that?
Yes.
Tony, now you know you can beat him.
Yeah, I've always known that. I've always known styles make fights, but I also know that if he catches me with that right hand early doors, I'm hitting the deck.
His career's on the line here.
Yeah, he has to accept that. That's undeniable. No, Why would my career be on the line?
If he beat you, would you?
I'm the underdog. I'm expected to get blown away, just like last time. I want to do this, prove everyone wrong again, get home safe and go from there, you know. It ain't easy to be in the position I've been in. Don't think for one minute, I couldn't care less about how many injuries he's had. He's never felt what I've gone through these last 12 months. Nowhere in a chance. I would give everything over to erase the last 12 months from my life, and he only made it worse.
David, are you desperate to get off this dance floor with that dance partner? Tony Bellew, constantly on your mind when you're walking down the street, when you've got to train for a fight. Are you desperate to get out of this guy's company?
No, not necessarily. I need to enjoy it. For me to want to get out of it, it's the wrong mindset. I need to enjoy and bask in the poster of you on my wall at the gym and enjoy every training session I can. Try and push myself to the limit to be the best version of me.
Are you enjoying this?
More than I did last time. Putting it right in the wrong, that's what this fight's about.
This man said he was retiring at 31 and had everything in front of him to do it. I only wish I could have done it at 31, but I'm still getting punched in the face at 35. Just a quick one, David, off the top of my head. If you came back to unify the heavyweight division, so you fought them two guys who are labelled as crabs, which is correctly so, absolute disgraceful, but you beat them two, you could have very easily made yourself a world heavyweight title fight, could you not have? Very easily. You could have done that, couldn't you? David knows that too, that's why he won't answer it. It could have been done very easily.
Why do you think you didn't?
Why didn't he make the Deontay Wilder fight? Because he doesn't fancy it. It's a big risk. Big risk. And the reward just ain't big enough. So that's why he calls Anthony Joshua's name. Because the risk is big. It's real big. But the reward is ginormous.
Did you fancy it, David? Deontay Wilder?
For
the
at any point,
WBC
at any
heavyweight
point.
championship of the world.
Did you fancy Deontay Wilder at any point in your career?
Yeah, of course. I fancy myself against any heavyweight on the planet.
So
always have done,
why not
always
make that
will
fight?
do. Pardon?
Why not make that fight then? No, I'm just saying.
I'm scared to fight Joshua. I'm scared to fight
You're
Wilder.
not scared to fight Joshua.
fight.
I'm just saying, why didn't you choose Wilder? Why did you choose me?
Because Wilder was never on the radar. And that fight, you know, it's not a big fight.
It's a huge fight, David.
It's not a big fight.
Okay.
Me fighting you is a bigger fight.
Little fat cruiserweight from Liverpool.
Exactly. Me fighting you is a bigger fight. Do you disagree with that?
At the time.
Yes. No.
At the time, it was a much lesser fight. You versus me was a much lesser fight.
I have to disagree. The winner of this fight can then move on to fighting the very best in the division. Whether I'm just saying, I don't know, whether it's Wilder, whether it's Joshua, whether it's Parker, whoever it may be, has the opportunity to fight the best guy in the world, because this fight will be so big. People would love the fight. It'd be a great fight, and whoever has the hand raised at the end is in a very good position. You could go and fight Usyk. If you win, you could fight Usyk for mega dough, unify the title, and go down as probably the best, better than me. If you do that, right? If you beat Usyk, if you beat the winner of this tournament, you could go down as the best ever cruiserweight, right or wrong, from the UK.
From the UK.
Yeah, cool. That's so. There's that much on the line for both of us. I want to fight the biggest, best names.
But you've spun it now. My point originally was. You chose me, and before the first fight,
you chose me. You're the one chasing me around after the fight. After the BJ Flores fight, you're the one who kicked at me and forced the fight. So you did it, right?
You're the guy who left the Sky commentary area. I kicked the toe. You went to the white neutral corner.
I was doing the commentary.
So why wasn't you in BJ's corner? Because that's where the commentary took place. You went to the white corner. You went to the neutral corner. Why was you in the neutral corner?
He's reeling me in. He's got me. He got me. He nearly got me. He nearly got me.
I'm just saying.
He nearly got me. I was crawling. This is it. He's an expert. You're an expert in it. He really is.
David, I'm just stating
He's the best. I'm telling you. Pound for pound, the best. You had me. You had me going.
I'm just stating a fact.
I know you are. Good work,
for the
mate. You nearly had me then.
For the BJ Flores fight, did you
not
not
worry,
leave?
no one cares. Nobody cares. I was in that
leave?
red corner, blue corner. It's all irrelevant.
Because it was a fact.
Okay. Yeah, it's a fact. You're right. I'm wrong.
I know.
That's it. End of story. Let's finish it.
It's just a fact. It's not about who's right. I'm just telling you where you was.
You're right anyway. You're right.
I'm just telling you where you was.
For everybody watching
at home. Is he winding up, David?
He's right.
He
nearly got me.
David, look.
I love it.
I don't need to get you now, mate. I'm going to get you May the 5th.
Okay, good.
I don't need to get you.
I'm glad.
At the end of the day, I'm just stating. You can't answer me.
You have to say you are good, Tony.
You can't answer me because you should have. If you was in it, he came back and said he's come back to regain the heavyweight championship of the world. What a load of nonsense. If he wanted the heavyweight championship of the world, he could have made it in his third fight. He fought them two clowns, one after the other. He could have easily made the Deontay Wilder fight next, but he chose the fat scouser
We up to the
with
weekend.
the mouth.
What are you up to the weekend? We up to?
This is what he chose.
What's going on?
I'm
What are you doing? You got anything planned on the weekend?
Once again, am I saying something wrong?
Is anyone fighting on the weekend?
Am I saying
tell you what I
something
see.
wrong? I don't know. You should study, David.
I'll tell you what I see. I'll tell you what you see. Last time, when I saw Froch and Groves, Groves kept talking about the last fight, and Froch said, "You need to forget about that. Talk about the next fight."
I've never spoken about the last fight.
Talk about the next fight. Forget about what I did in the past. Talk about the next fight.
Never happened.
Will we get a war again, or will we get an even better fight
You have
than
to.
we did the last time?
Has to be.
Hope so. Because that means that it's going to be crazy.
You know what I see? The same thing's going to unfold again. Come out with the speed. Come out with the slickness. Won't be loading up on punches, so it's going to go a little bit longer this time before he tires. But he is going to tire, because he has to.
Okay.
It's genetics, the way he moves.
Tony?
He has to tire.
Don't tell me.
Okay.
Tell David
He knows what I
how
think.
the next fight turns out. Give me a prediction. Tell David.
I don't need to. He knows. He's been in the ring with me, and he was shocked. Pleasantly surprised. It was hilarious. Making you miss by the miles you missed by was absolutely hilarious. Considering all the things you said in the build-up, it was, I wouldn't say perfect, because I would have rather have just got you done with good and proper, but, you know, it wasn't far off. It wasn't far off at all. And when you look at me, I know exactly what's going through your mind. Boy, I'm going to render you unconscious. You know. Believe me, you know. Because it doesn't matter what you do, how hard you train, what weights you lift, you're going to lose on May the 5th, because you are going to get pushed again to a place where you don't want to be, where you haven't been for a long, long time, and it's going to fail you again. You're going to lose again.
Tell Tony how it turns out May the 5th.
Bell rings. I come across the ring.
Joking. Really?
I didn't get asked for a handshake last time. I'm
doesn't
asking for
bother
one
me
this
at
time.
all.
Are we going to get one?
Good luck, May 5th.
Just, let's get there. Good luck. Very bad. I couldn't wish you well enough through camp. I really couldn't.
Likewise.
I
Two
hope.
fit athletes going toe to toe.
Fat kid and an athlete, it always is, mate. There's no athletes. There's one athlete here. Well, two, sorry. Yeah, you and Johnny.
Boys, I didn't expect a handshake. I do expect a real tear up May the 5th.
You'll get it.
You get it, don't worry.
Well done
Believe
for
you
the
me,
gloves are off.
You'll get it.
Sky Sports. Feel it all.